I'm going to give you options. Our breathing can affect our autonomic nervous system, basically the system that makes us energetic and keyed up and full of energy, or the rest and digest side of it, the parasympathetic nervous system, calms us down, makes us more at ease, more relaxed. And depending on what kind of breath we use, we can accelerate, so we can lift ourselves, we can energize ourselves. So it's always good to use an energizing form of breath first thing in the morning or before we do any exercise-like activations. But then going to bed at night, we want exactly the opposite. Coming into a meditation, you want exactly the opposite. So inhales, so a long inhale tends to accelerate the nervous system. Fast breathing tends to accelerate the system and get you pumped up. And of course, the opposite, the exhale, a long, slow exhale, calms the system down. Breathing into the belly, diaphragmatic breathing, calms the system down. So I'm going to show Breath of Fire. I know a lot of you have seen Breath of Fire before. It's really great for lifting the system and getting you keyed up and energized. If you have stomach problems, if you have high blood pressure, if you have glaucoma, then I would miss Breath of Fire out. And what you can do instead is have a longer inhale. So perhaps inhale for a count of 6, hold for a count of 6, and exhale for a count of 4. So that is spending more time inhaling and holding the breath after the inhale. So that will give you that fight or flight system. That sympathetic nervous system will be encouraged and will lift you. Or you can do rapid breathing. And I'll show Breath of Fire. I want really, you need to see the belly for Breath of Fire, which is really good. If you don't have any problems, it's really good for affecting the sympathetic nervous system and keying you up. So it's basically a very rapid exhale from the belly and then a relaxed inhale. So it goes something like this. So you're breathing out quickly and then just relaxing the belly, and your inhale comes quite naturally. So if you don't fancy doing the Breath of Fire, then you could instead choose to do the inhale for 6, hold for 6, exhale for 4. Otherwise, we'll do 3 rounds of Breath of Fire, just 10 each time. Okay, so let's give it a go. To begin with, just a nice slow inhale, 2, 3, 4, hold, 2, 3, 4, exhale, 2, 3, 4, inhale, 2, 3, 4, exhale, 2, 3, sorry, hold 2, 3, 4, exhale, 2, 3, 4. And once more, and then we'll go into the Breath of Fire. Inhale, 2, 3, 4, hold, 2, 3, 4, exhale, 2, 3, 4, and then Breath of Fire. So we'll do 10. I'll do it with you to begin with. And relax and just close your eyes. See how you feel after that. See how it's affecting you. Just taking a few normal breaths. And I don't know if you're hearing my breathing. So perhaps it will come through a bit clearer this time now. I've just changed it. So again, another 10, starting now. And relax. Again, you might want to just close your eyes. Notice if there's a change. Notice if you're feeling a bit more alive, a bit lifted, a bit clearer mentally as well as physically. And then we'll do a last set of 10, starting now. Exhale, 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 and relax. And again, just take note. Just go inside for a moment. Okay, so that kind of breath of fire breathing can be developed so you can do a set of 15. I would build it up slowly. If you enjoyed that and you feel good after it, then you could try 15, 3 sets of 15. You could build up to 3 sets of 20, but always make sure, check in at the end of each one and see, is it feeling good? And if it doesn't feel right, then drop that and do the top triangle breathing, inhaling and holding for longer than the exhale. Okay, so let's move on to our Dru yoga. I think we're all set up, aren't we? Everybody's muted. And you can start off just with, thank you, Anne, our gentle semi-squats. So just working the knees and the hips, the thigh muscles, and we can start off nice and gently. And then if you want to, you can go a little bit faster. And that's great for the hips and the knees and the thigh muscles, but it's not affecting the lower legs, so we can double raise the heel on one side and then double raise the heel on the other side. So now we're working the calves and the ankles, the ligaments running through to the toes, toe joints. We're putting the weight on one side and then the other, so we're also strengthening the thigh muscles again, but we're not working the upper body. So now we take a wider stance and we inhale as we sweep the right arm around in a big arc and exhale as we push the arm out to the side. Inhale, sweeping the left arm around and then push the palm away from you. Inhale and exhale. Inhale and exhale. Inhale and exhale. Inhale and exhale. And what are we doing here? We're working the wrist joint as we push the palm out. We're working the fingers. We're working the forearm muscles as they are controlling the hand into that push. We're working the elbow as we push. We're working the shoulders. We're working the neck as we're turning from side to side. We're putting most of the weight onto one leg and then the other, so the legs and the hips are involved as well. Nice simple exercise, but there's a lot of joints and muscles involved in that action. And then we can move on into stretches. So we put one hand on the hip and we stretch down the other side, looking up at the ceiling if that feels right for you. If it doesn't feel right, if you lose your balance or you feel a bit giddy doing it, then miss that bit out. Otherwise, stretching one side and then stretching the other, and inhale into these stretches. So we're getting a nice stretched lung as we inhale, and a shorter exhale means that we are again working on the sympathetic nervous system. So we're keying the body up, and then we can move on to the anchor. So the anchor exercise, we anchor the left foot in place and we step backwards and forwards with the right foot, and the arms are nicely relaxed as we swing them up and down, and we want to coordinate the breath. So we inhale as we swing the arms up and exhale as we swing them down. That again would speed up the breath and affect the sympathetic nervous system. Or if you don't want to breathe that quickly, you can inhale as you step forwards and exhale as you step back. And the last point in this exercise is to remember that the anchored foot, left foot in this case, the heel comes up as you step forwards, the toes and the ball of the foot come up as you step back. So that's active even though it's anchored. And we swap over now, anchor the right foot and step backwards and forwards with the left foot. Nice relaxed arms, coordinated breath. So we are steadily increasing the heart rate, increasing the breath, getting the blood flowing nicely around the system. And then we'll move straight on to the cross patterning. So cross patterning means that a limb is going to go over to the other side of the body. And there's two ways we can do that. Anne is demonstrating the Pranayama, which is crossing the hands over so that the left hand takes hold of the right earlobe between the thumb and first finger, and the right hand takes hold of the left earlobe. She's inhaling as she goes into a semi-squat and exhaling as she comes up out of it. And the fact that these hands are crossed and crossing the center line, it's stimulating the two hemispheres of the brain to work with one another, to build those neural connections. So it's strengthening the balancing of the two hemispheres of the brain. You don't have to do something as complicated as that. You can simply touch the outside of the opposite knee. So just walking and lifting the knee so that you can tap the outside of it. And the arms are passing that midline, so it's having that effect on the brain. Now if you want to work the spine with this action, then we just twist that little bit further. We can take it up another notch, if you like, by working the core a little bit harder. And we do that by bringing the elbow to the opposite knee. So always decide what's right for you, what feels right for you on the day you're doing it. So how do you feel today? Sometimes you might feel like going on and doing this core work, and sometimes you might feel, I think I'll just take it a little bit gentler today. So always be in touch with yourself. Be aware of how you're feeling and adapt and tweak exercises to suit yourself. If you want to take it up another notch, then we can do the double diagonal stretch to one side and then the other.
What are you on now, Anne? 100? 106?
159.
159, is it? Very good, very good. Okay, so from here now we go into what I call the dance step. Because it feels a bit like a dance, I've always thought. But we start off with the feet close together. We take the right foot behind the left and across. We let the heel touch the floor. And just notice the stretch. It comes right up the leg from there to just under the hips. You can even feel here, there's a stretch in that muscle there. And then the same on the other side. And we stop and just do that to make ourselves aware of why we're doing this movement, what we're gaining from doing it. So then we just go from side to side. And then we can take it up a notch if we want to. We can bring the arm and shoulder in. We can bring the neck in if you want to look up towards the ceiling. If you want to take it further, you can spin the arms round and point. And let's do 2 more to each side. And then just stop and take note. You shouldn't be out of breath, you shouldn't be gasping now. So if you're sort of really gasping, then perhaps you've taken it a little bit too far, push yourself a little bit too far. But you should be able to notice that, yes, my breath is going a little bit faster, my heart's beating a little bit faster. I've got things accelerated in the body, I'm feeling more alive. So now let's move on to doing a bit of stretching. And so we take a wide stance, we interlink the fingers and bring them overhead, and inhale. And then on the exhale, twist to your right and bring your hands down to your right knee. Over to the left knee. Inhale as you bring the hands up overhead again. And then reverse the direction, exhale down. Across to the right knee and inhale up. And so we just alternate the direction of our circle. And we do it nice and smoothly. And then we might find that it's getting easier. And without straining, we can just relax the muscles that little bit more and find that the size of our circle is increasing. We're able to bend that little bit lower. And it's without straining. It's without trying. It's just that the muscles, when we first go into most movements, most yoga poses, the muscles tend to object. They just tend to sort of be a little bit wary. What's happening here? Don't want to hurt myself. Want to ease into it gently. And then as the muscles realize what's going on, as they sort of get gently released and relaxed and eased into it, then they become more elastic. We can stretch that little bit further without forcing them. Same with the joints. As they get warmed up, as we get the juices in the joints of the spine that's bending in this way, get them warmed up. And we'll just do 1 more to each side now. Okay, so that was great for the hamstrings and the glutes and the spine and that forward bend. And we're going to take it a stage further with the Dru Yoga version of the pyramid, where we turn the right foot out to the right, we bend the left knee, that gives us a little bit more stability. And then if you're comfortable coming up onto the heel of the right foot, great. If you're not, then just keep it against the floor. Otherwise, bring the toes up, inhale, and then as you exhale, slide your hands as far down that right leg as feels right for you. And you might be able to touch the floor. I like in this position then to just wiggle the shoulders backwards and forwards, and it tends to loosen up the big muscles of the back, relax them, so I can then bring the head a little bit closer to the knee without forcing it. And we just take 4 or 5 breaths down here. I can feel a nice stretch on the hamstring and the glutes. Got a good forward bend into the spine, and then I flatten the foot against the floor, bending the knee, and then I bring my hands onto the thigh to push myself back up again into a vertical position, ready to do the same on the other side. So maybe coming up onto the heel, lifting the toes and the ball of the left foot, and then inhaling up and exhaling, sliding the hands down. And again, just wiggling the shoulders a bit. 4 or 5 breaths. And then we flatten the foot against the floor again, bending the knee, using the thigh to bring ourselves back up into a vertical position. Ready for the earth sequence. So for the earth sequence, we start with the feet close together, interlink the fingers, inhale the hands up to the chin, turn the palms over, exhale down. Inhale the palms forwards and overhead, and exhale the arms out to the sides and down. If you want to visualize inhaling silver energy up the spine, exhaling it down again. Inhale the palms forwards and overhead, and exhale hands out to the sides around, imagining that you're building a silver bubble of energy and health around you. Inhale up, exhale down. Inhale the palms forwards and overhead, exhale around. And one more. And then we take a slightly wide, about a little bit more than shoulder width apart for the feet. And we're going to bring the knees and the ankles and the thighs and hip joints into play by coming into a semi-squat or a squat. You can take the palms as low down as you like. Otherwise, it's exactly the same as what we've just done. So we inhale the palms up to the chin. We turn the palms over and exhale down as far as you want to go. Inhale the palms forwards and overhead. Exhale the arms out to the sides and around. And 3 more of those. Inhale up. Exhale down. Inhale forwards and overhead. Exhale around. And the last one, inhale up, exhale down, inhale forwards and overhead, exhale around. Okay, then we take a wider stance again. Again, we're going to bring the hands as low as you want to go, but this time we're bending from the hips. So, inhale the palms up to the chin, turn the palms over, exhale down. Inhale the palms forwards and overhead, exhale around. And again, 3 more of these. exhaling down. Inhaling forwards and overhead, exhaling around. Last one. And then we turn the right foot out to the right, interlink the fingers again, inhale up to the chin, and then turn the palms away from you and exhale forwards and up until the arms are in line with the spine and the back leg. And then inhale as we come up to the vertical, exhale bringing the arms out to your sides and around. So inhale up, exhale forwards and then up, inhale to the vertical, exhale around. Inhale to the face, exhale forwards and up, inhale to the vertical, exhale around. Last one. And around. And then the same to the other side. And if you're used to the moves, then aim to make it smooth. So instead of coming up and stopping, forwards and stopping, up and stopping, vertical and stopping, try to just move smoothly so that you are just constantly in that gentle, steady flow, and you'll find you enjoy it so much more. So, front legs straight to begin with, and then inhale up, turn the palms away from you, exhaling forwards and up, inhaling to the vertical, exhaling around. Inhale up, exhaling forwards and up, inhaling to the vertical, exhaling around. Inhale and exhale. Inhale and exhale. Last one. And then we move on into the emotional block release sequence. And that starts with working on our balance, something that is so important. On that breakfast show this morning, they were saying how balance is so important as an indicator of your health. As you get older, working on your balance is so important as a sign of longevity and good health generally. There was one or two other pointers, I can't remember what they were now. Right, so for our balance, we start with the feet close together and close our eyes if you're comfortable doing that so that you can focus on the feelings in your feet. And just lean forwards slightly and feel the weight shift to the toes and the balls of the feet. And then lean over slightly to the right, feel the weight in the toes and the ball of the right foot. Lean slightly backwards and feel the weight shift along the edge of the right foot to the heel. Lean over to the left, feel the weight on the left heel. Lean forwards, weight shifting along the edge of the left foot to the toes and the ball of the left foot, and complete the circle. And then we do another circle in that direction. A bit more smoothly this time. And then 2 circles in the opposite direction. You don't need to lean far. Just lean enough to feel the weight shifting. And what are we doing? We're toning the muscles of the calf and the tendons and ligaments of the feet. But more importantly, we're strengthening that brain-muscle connection. We're toning up that connection along the nerves to those muscles there. Okay, so we come back to a central point. We try to get to that position where we can feel an equal balance between the weight on the right and left foot, and between the front and the backs of the feet. And then we put that into action with our tree pose. So if you are concerned about your balance and you need to put a hand on a wall or a chair or something, That's fine. You're still strengthening the muscles that you're balancing on. And we start then by bringing the right heel to the left ankle and the right leg is out at 45 degrees. We're stretching up through the crown of the head. You may want to lift the toes of the left foot and spread them so that you have a more stable base. You want to find a point on the wall opposite you or on the floor in front of you so that you can focus on that. And that helps your balance if you're focusing on what we call the drishti point. And then, now Anne likes to put her hands in place first, and you can have your hands out at the sides, you can have them at the heart, you can have them overhead pointing, you can have them, I like them overhead because I like to stretch the tendons and ligaments in my hands, so I like to have the palms towards the ceiling. Any of those, or hand on the chair, as I say, if you want to do that. And then the next stage is to shift that foot and ideally lift it off the floor completely, even if it's only just a little bit off. If you're really worried about doing that, then okay, leave the toes on the floor. But I would advise you to develop the strength in that leg by holding a chair rather than keeping the toes on the floor. Avoid the knee. Over time you can damage the knee if you're balancing with the foot against the knee. You can bring it higher than the knee and then decide where you're placing your hands. And 4 or 5 breaths. And then the same on the other side. So spreading the toes, heel to ankle, stretching up through the crown of the head, finding the drishti point, and then either putting your hands in place or putting your foot in place and then your hands. And again, 4 or 5 breaths. And when you're ready, coming out nice and steadily, ready for a level 3 exercise. So if you don't want to do this, it's one that can be added if you're used to yoga, if you're quite comfortable going a stage further. This is the Dru version of the triangle. So it's a triangle, but we just dip into it and out of it 3 times. So we have the left foot facing out 90 degrees to the right foot. We have the back of the left hand on the inside of the left thigh and the right hand stretching towards the ceiling. And we can look up to the ceiling if you feel comfortable doing that. And then we inhale, and on the exhale we just dip, keeping that top shoulder back so that you are contracting the left side and stretching the right. And inhale back up again. And twice more, little dip, only going as far as feels right, feels like you're getting a nice stretch without forcing anything. And then we do the same on the other side. Okay, that then takes us to the vertical stretch. So you can, if you want, come up off your heels with this one. Feet close together. Inhale, both hands up. Exhale down. And twice more. Inhale up and then exhale the hands out to the sides, grabbing hold of our imaginary beach ball, inhaling, and then on the exhale rotate the beach ball, and inhale back to neutral. Exhale in the other direction and inhale back to neutral. And twice more. And then with the arms out to the sides, but not locked out, nice little gentle bend at the elbows. We're going to inhale, sweeping the thumbs to point behind us, and exhale, rotating the hands round through 360 degrees till we're bending forwards, pulling the stomach in, tightening the stomach muscles, exhaling all the stale air. Inhale and exhale. Inhale and exhale. And then we rotate the arms in opposite directions, twisting wrist, working the elbows and the shoulders and the neck. Looking from side to side. And then we can focus on the neck by relaxing the arms and the shoulders down and inhaling the head as far as we can to one side, exhaling to the front. Inhale the head as far as you can to the other side, exhale to the front, and twice more to each side. And then we relax the head down towards the shoulder on one side, and we don't pull the head, but you can, if you want, just add the weight of that arm to get a little bit extra stretch into the trapezius muscle at the side of the neck here. And then, because that's just been stretched, we may want to assist it in pulling the head back to a central position and doing the same on the other side. Be careful not to sort of pull the shoulder up, just relax that shoulder down. And then again, you might want to support the head back up to a central position. And then we want to loop the chin. So we stretch the muscles at the front by pushing the chin up. We bring it forward and we stretch the muscles at the back by bringing the chin down onto the chest. And twice more, loop the chin. And then we place the hands on the small of the back and we inhale gently backwards, exhale about 45 degrees. And at this stage, we're checking in on our spine to see if it's up to a wave-like action this morning. And we either continue to rock backwards and forwards for 5, or we exhale further down, forward bend, and then we bring the knees forward, and as we inhale, we'll let a wave-like movement run up the spine. Exhale forwards, and inhale with that wave-like action up the spine. And last one. And then after that backwards and forwards movement of the spine, we want to twist the spine. So we bring the hands to the shoulders, inhale, and on the exhale we twist with the right hand coming to the left shoulder, left hand wrapped around the waist. Inhale to the front, exhale to the right, and inhale to the front again. And twice more, giving the spine a nice twist. Nearly always in yoga we exhale whenever we're twisting the spine. Not always the case with Qigong. Okay, then we can go into a squat, either coming up off your heels or staying on them, whichever suits you. So Anne's doing garland pose with the heels on the floor. I've got my heels off the floor, ready to go into frog pose. So if we're doing frog pose, and I'll turn sideways so you get a better view of that, we inhale
and straighten the legs. We exhale, back down, looking straight ahead, and twice more. And then we go into the last 9 exercises. So I think I'm going to overflow in the time by quite a bit, Anne.
Looks like it.
Going to eat into your relaxation time, I'm afraid. Okay, so we start the first of the 9 with the knee hug. So hugging the left knee to your chest. Nice exercise for the knee joint, the thigh muscle, the hip joint and the glutes. And then we do the same on the other side, hugging the right knee to us, being aware of the knee joint and how that feels, the hip joint and how that feels. Maybe you're feeling it more in the thigh muscle and the stretch there. So this is great for the hip joint, but it's only in one direction. So our next exercise brings the hip joint across, and we can do the Maltese cross, tucking the left foot under the right knee and bringing the left knee across. That's working the hip joint across nicely. Or we can take it a stage further, involving a twist of the spine as well, bringing the left knee right across, maybe resting it on a cushion, but holding it down while we drop the left shoulder back. And looking at the ceiling or looking over the left shoulder for 4 or 5 breaths. If you want to take it a stage further with the yin yoga pose and stretch out right arm and left leg, take hold of the right foot and pull the heel in behind. Cat pulling its tail pose. So where we have these 3 different levels, just decide which is right for you at this moment. It may not always be the same, or it may. Just decide what you feel like. And then we do the same on the other side. So again, it's the Maltese cross, right foot under left knee. The supine spinal twist, with the knee brought right across. Or the cat pulling its tail. Okay, and then the third of these 9 is working on the core. And the first one is really good for the pelvic floor, where we push the small of the back down into the mat, pull in the pelvic floor, we're raising the tailbone, we hold for a count of 10, breathing normally, and we relax for a count of 10, and we just alternate that. The second option is sliding the sole of the foot along the floor till you have to turn it up, and then exhaling as you slide it back again and alternating with the feet there. And the third option is bringing the knees up, and we focus in this one on keeping the small of the back pushed down into the mat, and then one at a time we'll lower the foot, still keeping that small of the back pushed into the mat, and it's 3 times each side. And resisting throughout. If you're doing this one, resisting throughout that tendency to let the natural arch of the lower back come back into play. Keeping it pressed against the mat. Okay, the fourth exercise. Anna, you're going to
I'll do the spiral, yeah.
do the spiral for us.
Yeah.
So notice how Anne's got the arms stretched out, the knees drawn up. She inhales, watching the thumb all the way so that the neck's involved in the spiral as well. She exhales as it goes down. She inhales as it comes up again. and exhales as she closes. 3 or more times each side. Alternatively, level 2, you might want to do head to knee. So a nice straight back to begin with. Bring the sole of the right foot to the inside thigh of the left. Inhale up, and then we flow through the action, exhaling forwards as far as we can, inhaling as we come up, and just flowing through, again, 3 or more times each side. Or you can do the stretch and flex. So to do that, that's the level 3 exercise. We inhale up, we exhale folding forwards. We just take a moment to notice where the head is in relation to the knee, and you can get hold of calf, ankle or foot. And then we inhale, coming back onto the right forearm, stretching the left side, lifting the hips, and exhale back into the head to knee. And twice more, coming onto the forearm, lifting the hips and stretching as you inhale, exhaling back into the head to knee. And the third time, and after the third time, we hold the pose. And inhale up, straighten the spine and stretch, and bring the arms around to the side, and then the same on the other side. So right leg stretched out, left foot into the inside thigh, inhale up, exhale folding forwards, taking a moment, and then inhale into the stretch and lift. Exhale into the flex. Twice more. And hold the pose for a few breaths. And inhale up, straightening the back, stretching, nice straight back, and then exhaling, bringing the arms out to the sides and round, ready to bend the spine in the opposite direction. And again, we've got 3 choices. So we've got Sphinx, elbows under the shoulders, hands spread out nice and wide and looking straight ahead, and we'll be coming up and down 3 times. Or Seal, level 2, where we turn the thumbs to point straight ahead, fingers are out at 45 degrees, we straighten the arms and we look diagonally up instead of straight ahead. Or thirdly, Cobra, hands under the shoulders and using the back muscles to inhale and bring the body up, and then adding the arms to complete the movement, and exhaling, rolling the spine down. So 3 times, whichever of those 3 you like. Inhale up. And exhale, rolling the spine down, turning the head to one side. Inhale up. Exhale, rolling the spine down, turning the head to the other side. Inhale up. And then this time as you exhale down, fold your arms and rest your forehead on your forearms, and you're in crocodile pose. And here you can spend the time relaxing the muscles in the small of the back, getting rid of any tension from that area. And then moving your attention to the neck or the shoulders and getting rid of any tension from there. An alternative to enjoying that relaxation in crocodile, you may want to go into the pelvic raise, where you're on your back and you peel the spine up off the mat and then exhale, rolling it down again. And as with a lot of these exercises, it's 3 times. And from there we go into locust. So we can again have 3 levels. We have the mini locust,
where we tuck the toes underneath and push the heels away from us and hold that pose. Or we can stretch the arms out and do a diagonal locust, right arm and left leg and head, left arm and right leg and head, or all four limbs. Or we can come up into tabletop, stretch out the right leg and the left arm, and you can look straight ahead, strengthening the muscles at the back of the neck. Or you can look down at the mat if you want to keep the spine in a straight line and have that energy running the length of the spine. Either is good, they just have different goals, different benefits. So just decide which you want to do today. And then we can swap over and do the same on the other side, left leg and right arm. Then we come to the penultimate exercise, cat-cow. And we exhale, arching the back, pulling the stomach in, stretching the muscles of the back, contracting the muscles in the front. And inhale, dropping the belly, looking straight ahead, cow pose. And then exhaling back into cat. The alternative to that is thread the needle pose. Lying on our back, we bring the right ankle to the left knee, gently pushing the right knee away and feeling, is that okay? And if it is, then we can take the right hand underneath the right calf and join the hands around the left knee and pull the left knee to you for 4 to 5 breaths. And I'll just show that from the other side as well. If you're finding that difficult, you can do it with the hands behind the knee. And of course, just as far as feels right for you, you may want to rest your head back on the mat rather than bringing it up. But that will allow you to build up to bringing your head and shoulders up and bringing your hands around the knee to pull it to you. Where you can feel how it's affecting the right knee, the right hip joint, the muscle down the outside of the right thigh. And then we do the same on the other side, left ankle to right knee, left hand underneath and pulling the right knee to you for 4 or 5 breaths. And coming out of that for the last exercise, which is our child's pose. So child's pose, it can be extended child with your arms stretched out, or it can be child pose with your hands down by your feet, or you can have your knees out by the edge of the mat, so you go into a wide child's pose. So this is a pose for complete relaxation, release of any tensions, ready for our final guided relaxation. Okay, well, I was intending to do a full relaxing set of breaths, but I'll just do them once to demonstrate. Okay. Because I've overgone my time. Okay, so this is a set of breaths which relaxes the whole system, and it's good to use if you have trouble getting to sleep at night. It's the opposite to the top triangle that we did. And what we'll do, we'll miss out the bottom triangle. In fact, all we need is to use the diaphragmatic breathing, so breathing into the stomach and breathing out slower than we breathe in.
Breathing through the nose all the time. It's much better for us to breathe through the nose, especially the inhales. And you can either inhale for 3 and exhale for 6, or inhale for 4 and exhale for 8. So we'll just do the 1 round. I would do more than that normally, and I certainly would do that if I'm using it to help me get to sleep at night. So just take a normal breath in, exhale, and then inhale 2, 3, 4, exhale 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Inhale 2, 3, 4, exhale 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Inhale 2, 3, 4, exhale 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Inhale 2, 3, 4, exhale 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Inhale 2, 3, 4, exhale 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Inhale 2, 3, 4, exhale 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Inhale 2, 3, 4, exhale 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Last one, inhale 2, 3, 4, exhale 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. And then just keep your eyes closed for a moment and check in with how you feel. Breathing normally. So that was 1 round of 8. If you did 3 rounds of 10 of those, brief break between each one. And that will set you in a really nice, calm, relaxed state. Okay, Anne, thank you for waiting for that.
Okay. So we're already getting into a really nice, relaxed state. So we can just look in again at what your breathing is doing at the moment. So has it gone back to a normal length of breathing? And then you've already done a check-in, just a really brief scan to see if there's any tension being held anywhere. Just let a wave of relaxation flow all the way through you. All the way down to your toes. Hold the whole body resting and in peace and in regeneration, recuperation. And let's take the mind on a little journey away from its habitual working. As we bring just a light focus of attention to Christmas past. Maybe even a long way back to a childhood Christmas. Particularly to toys that delighted you. To the simple pleasure gained from even the most unsophisticated toys. And then, without making judgments or comparisons to the more up-to-date offerings of today, bring to mind an image of a small, colourful ball, the size that fits into your hand. Turn your ball over and over and see how the colours merge. The ball is quite soft and very satisfying to squeeze. See yourself manipulate your special ball and maybe even bounce it a few times. Or throw it against a wall and catch it on its return. This ball has particular qualities that are not immediately obvious. It's an emotional receptacle. This ball is capable of taking in any emotion that you want to release. And it can then bounce that emotion away. Look closely at your magic ball and decide whether you believe in its magic. If not, you can just continue to throw and catch your ball, maybe even chasing it or letting your dog fetch it back for you. If, however, you're willing to take a chance on it, then begin to scan through your extensive memory banks, seeking out any negative or annoying or upsetting emotion that you would be lighter without. You can press as many unwanted thoughts or emotions as you like into this ball. Squeeze them in, really squeeze them in tight. Anything that pops into mind will be something that wants release. Squeeze them all in. When you've finished, give your ball one last squeeze and throw it high up into the air. Watch the colourful ball rise higher and higher as it carries all your negativity into infinity and beyond. Congratulate yourself on a job well done, and feeling lighter and more joyful, you can begin to sense your way back to your place of relaxation. Feel yourself come fully up to an everyday level of consciousness as you prepare to continue your day. Feeling lighter, healthier, well stretched, and with everything released that no longer serves you.